From the author of Spinsterella, a strange and unusual romance and spellbound, a darker shade of black comes the legendary Magic Children. Pick up the conclusions of the Spinsterella trilogy in paperback and e-readers this Halloween. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from the first book in the modern Isis series, Isis, Amaris' Revenge. And in this story, the goddess next door takes on an old enemy from her days in ancient Nubia in this Isis series adventure. I hope you enjoy this excerpt, and I hope it motivates you to go out and pick up the paperback or the ebook on Amazon.com and other online booksellers. 91 AD. The sound of leather smacking against flesh echoes in the bowels of the dungeon of the Nubian royal palace. As I march through the corridors and hear her cries, I smile. Perhaps this beating will finally break that streak of insolence in that annoying slave. I wanted to have her sent away a year ago when I first came to the royal palace, but to my chagrin she has the favor of Prince Amon and King Ahmed. To them she's practically like family, maybe even more to the prince. The way he looks at her, it's clear that he has eyes for her. He says she's just a friend, but I know they're much more than that. Even though I'm betrothed to be wed to him, I know his heart is with her. In time she can take my kingdom with her charms. I'll kill her before she gets a chance to do that. I turn the corner and rush into the hall near the jail cells. Anticipation builds inside me as I look up at the limp body of Prince Amon's favorite servant stretched out between the posts. In the torchlight, I make out red streaks of welts going across the golden skin of her soft back. When I brush back her sweat-soaked chestnut hair and catch the look in her brown eyes, she gives me that annoying smirk that makes my blood boil. "Hey, Princess, is that all Samet's got?" Isis teases. The 35th lashing just didn't have the same spark as the first. I seethe with rage as the back of my hand swats across her cheek. She isn't fazed by the blow. That light is still in her eyes. What will it take to break this slave? Isis continues to smile at me as I glare at her. 40 lashes for serving you soup on the left instead of the right. What's next, Amari? You gonna cut my arm off for turning down your bed on the wrong corner tonight? I look over at the dagger on Samet's twin brother Samuel's hip. I'm tempted to thrust the insolent witch through for her smart mouth, but if I kill her, she'll become a martyr. Too many of the king's servants and soldiers are fond of her. "Samet, give her 40 more lashes!" Samet peers down at the welts on the weary woman's back and shakes his head. "I will beat her no more." My hand swats across the tall, burly man's cheek. "I order you to beat her!" Samet doesn't back down from his position, and his twin brother seems to be supporting him. "Princess, the punishment has been meted out." "If you don't beat her, I'll make sure you get 40 lashes." "Princess, 40 lashes would kill a strong man. It's a miracle from her god. Isis endured such a beating 2 days in a row," Samet continues. "To beat her any further would kill her. And the king would not be pleased if you killed his favorite servant," Samuel adds. "To the prince, Isis is like a sister, and to the king like a daughter, and to them like a friend. I wish I could cut her throat right here." "Untie her!" Samuel unties the ropes from Isis's wrists. As her bonds loosen, Samet catches the girl's limp body and she falls and lets him lean on his muscular shoulders. "Isis, are you okay?" I suck my teeth at the sight of them comforting her. The gentle way they treat her, it's like she's the princess of Nubia and I'm the slave. "I think I can make it on my own, Samet," Isis replies, catching the four-line eyes of the servant. "But you took 40 lashes." Isis pulls out of Samet's grip and staggers to her feet and smiles at him. 40 lashes? I barely felt them. "Are you sure you're not losing your touch, Samuel?" The men perk up at the sight of her and smile and share a laugh with her. "Perhaps I need to work on my technique," Samuel retorts. "I told you it's all on the wrist. There's no blood on my back, is there?" Samuel's eyes take their time going down her slender servant's shapely back. "There never usually is. Guess I'm tougher than I look." My hands clench in the fist as Isis pulls up her dress, puts her arms through the straps, and smiles at me. "Is that all you've got, Amari? Or are we going to do this again tomorrow?" She knows she's got me. These days it's getting harder and harder to get the guards to follow my orders regarding her punishments because they sympathize with her. But I have to break that insolent spirit of hers before I wed Amon. It's the only way I'll have control over the palace. I'll do whatever it takes to wipe that smile off your face. Isis smiles proudly as she looks me dead in my eyes. "You can have Samet here give me 50 lashes, 100 lashes, or even 1,000. You can take that whip and beat me yourself. But you'll never break me. I'll die before I let that happen." Isis takes a deep breath and pulls herself together. As she shuffles around the corner, my hands clench in a fist.
As long as she lives, she'll have their favor. She'll have their respect. I'll never be able to reign over them as queen. My body aches with each step as I stumble through the tunnels under the palace, following the lamps up the stairs into the main hall. I just hope I can make it back to my quarters before I pass out. I have to admit that was a pretty bad beating. I felt myself blacking out quite a few times. Most men probably would have died taking 40 lashes 2 days in a row. It's a miracle I got through today's beating in one piece. God has to be with me. I know he says to turn the other cheek, but I don't know how many slaps to the face I can take. Sure, it's heaping a ton of hot coals on Amari's pretty little head when I smile after enduring one of her whippings, but all I think I'm doing is adding fuel to her fire. I don't think she's going to be happy until I'm dead. I don't know what Amari's problem is with me. Ever since she came here 2 years ago, she's been jealous of me. I don't know why. I mean, I'm just nobody, just a slave. Hell, she's the princess of Nubia betrothed to wed Prince Amon. If I had all like she had, I wouldn't care about the goings on of a lowly servant like me. I'd be too busy wearing the finest gowns and getting grapes fed to me. I'm halfway across the corridor when I hear footsteps rushing behind me. I'm knocked off my feet as I'm tackled to the ground. It's not Samit or his brother Samo. My attacker is smaller and much lighter than the burly twins. It seems Amari isn't through with me yet. Amari screams in a furious rage as he slaps me across the face again and again. My eyes grow wide as I catch the blade rising in the moonlight. I gasp as she plunges it towards my heart. My eyes grow even wider when I feel the cold steel blade shatter against my chest. The shocked look on Amari's face makes my night. Guess they don't make him like I used to, princess. Demon! You are a demon! More like she has the devil in her. And I'm so mad now I'm ready to rebuke her. In the instant where she's caught off guard, I swat the broken blade out of her hand. It flies across the courtyard and lands in a corner. A hard shove sends the princess flying halfway across the hall into the tiled mosaic floor. Moonlight from the windows shine on the handle of the broken blade. Amari sees the weapon, and her eyes grow wide. She crawls towards it. I grab at her, and I'm kicked in the face. In that moment, she gets to her feet. She sprints to the blade. I race behind her. But before she can get halfway to it, I grab a handful of her raven hair and get her in her headlock. As we wrestle, she claws at my hands. Whips do not break your flesh. Knives do not cut through your heart. What kind of creature are you? I've been trying to figure that out for some time now. I thought all the changes I was going through were just me becoming a woman. But I've been doing more than just growing taller and getting breasts these days. At the first, I thought I was strange when I just didn't have a flow of blood every month like every other woman. But they really started getting weird over the last 2 years when I started being able to run faster than cheetahs, lift more than Samit and Samo combined, and move more nimbly than our best acrobats and wrestlers. I've done my best to keep these changes a secret, but now that she knows about them, she's sure to have me killed. You know, I was going to ask you the same question. An elbow catches me in the gut, and Amari slips out of my grasp. She's about to start running for the knife again. I grab at her and get another elbow in the face. She frantically rushes across the hall and trips over her own feet. Desperate to get the weapon, she crawls on her hands and knees and lunges to grab the blade. She practically craps herself when she sees me standing in front of her with a broken dagger in my hand. Amari clutches her chest as she looks in my eyes. By the gods, you are swift as the wind. You'd be surprised what people can do when someone's trying to kill them, princess. Now I understand why your mother named you after the goddess. I catch the cold look in her dark brown eyes, yet you're still unrepentant. Do you mean to smite me, goddess? It takes every iota of courage in me to resist that temptation. I may be just a slave, but I'm not a murderer. That's a line I refuse to cross. While I have my issues with the princess, I would never betray the kingdom of Nubia. I'd give my life for my king. I stick the blade in the pillar next to me. The god I serve says to turn the other cheek, to forgive, even you. Then you're a fool for serving such a god, Amari snarls as she gets up. I'll have your head on my mantle this night. I get anxious as I see Samit, Samuel, and the other royal guards approaching. You said you'd rather die than be subjugated by me. You'll have your wish this night, goddess. The royal guards catch Amari's cold eyes. Take her to that dungeon and tell the executioner to sharpen his axe. Amari rushes up to me as the guards brush past her. Let's see if your neck can break the blade of an axe the way a dagger breaks your heart. Samit and Samuel are about to grab me when a voice calls out, Enough! In the moonlight, I make out the lean, sinewy silhouette of Prince Amon. The tall, handsome, bronze-colored man, dressed in a white linen kilt and gold jewels, steps into the moonlight. He gestures, and the twins let me go. I gaze into his deep brown eyes, and my heart races. If he goes along with her, I'm a dead woman. You've gotten yourself into quite the mess, little princess, Amon teases. Striking a member of the royal family is a serious offense. This from the boy I used to beat up when I was 7. You wouldn't happen to have a royal pardon on you right about now. Amon puts his head down. Unfortunately, in this situation I don't, little princess. Guess I'm gonna be with my lord at the ripe old age of 17. Samet, Semel, take Isis back to her quarters. Guard her until I come to receive her. Yes, my prince. Samet and Samel flank my sides as we walk down the hall to the servants' quarters. My heart races in my chest as I'm taken to bide my time before I meet the executioner. You can pick up Isis Amaris Revenge at Amazon.com, Smashwords, Barnes & Noble, or the iBookstore in paperback and digital formats.